Okay, so here we go. 5 wickets to Varun Chakravarty and India versus Australia in the semi-final. 2 days later, once again in Dubai, Bharat Ramraj joining us from outside the stadium. Gargi with me in the studio. Everyone's a little taken aback. Varun Chakravarty, Kuldeep Yadav, 2 wickets. The Indian spinners spinning away. Bharat Ramraj, 2 questions. 4 spinners once again versus Australia. Is this the way to go forward? Clearly, this is a wicket that is assisting spin, and that 5 spinner ploy of Gautam Gambhir giving rich dividends. Your first thoughts on India's
Yes,
strategy?
yeah, obviously, these conditions it is gripping a lot. So you have to go with spinners, and there is no dew again. Out of 3 matches, two matches there was no dew. Only one match there was a little bit of dew. So when there is no dew and it is gripping a bit, a bowler like Varun Chakravarty is at some other level currently. As I noted in the WhatsApp group itself, when 7 wickets were down, I just said because Varun Chakravarty is bowling, this match will get over soon because he's someone who bowls at pace, is someone who has great control, is someone who has over spin, side spin. It's just subtle changes in lines and lengths, angles. I think he's at the peak of his prowess. So, and when you have a spinner like him in these conditions, the opposition can't win, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, clearly an excellent spell of bowling from Varun Chakravarty. Nobody could get it. And from the very start, Varun was on song. Varun was on song, and it was tremendous to see the kind of web. But Bharat, not simply Varun. You could see Ravindra Jadeja get turned. You could see Akshar Patel bowl very well. Kuldeep Yadav too picked a couple of wickets. What do you think India will do now? Australia, a batting lineup which is impressive, not so much the bowling. So will India go in with 4 spinners against Australia? Your first thoughts about the semi-final. Let's set it up. We will come back to this game. But looking ahead, Bharat Ramraj, I'll ask Gargi Raut the same question. 4 spinner ploy. It seems to be working. And these are visuals from right outside the ground. Happy Indian fans all going home. And they know they've got to come back a day later against Australia as their team, makes a pitch to make another ICC final. Bharat Ramraj, 4 spinners.
Yeah, if these conditions are similar, then why not for spinners? Because as I noted, it's gripping a lot. But again, we have to see whether they will prepare a fresh pitch. They will have a kind of fresh pitch for the semi-final, or it will be used wicket. If it's a used wicket, if it's gripping a bit, stopping a bit, then definitely you can go with the 4 spinners in the ranks.
I love the fact when we talk about Varun Chakravarty, of course, first 5 wicket haul in ODIs, and what a performance today. He made the most of his opportunity, grabbed the opportunity by the throat. But what I especially loved about his bowling is the fact that you mentioned it as well, that no one was able to understand what Varun Chakravarty was really doing. No one could, really guess those variations. And when we look at the type of dismissals that we saw today, all of them either were bowled or a LBW. Does that say a lot about the fact that New Zealand,
Accuracy also.
yeah, accuracy, and the fact that
No,
New Zealand batters had no idea what he was doing?
I will
Yeah, I
say
mean, at
point.
no point in time did I see anybody confident.
Yeah.
Kane Williamson, that kind of innings, if you take, 120 balls for a 79, then you've got to stay on and win the big match. Because ultimately 40 dot balls or 40 plus in terms of the difference, if you don't stay on and get 120 not out and win the match, then this kind of an innings has no value. So that's something that Kane Williamson, that innings was of no value. Bharat, let me start with you. Kind of go back a little bit. The Indian bowling, the wicket was gripped, and you made this point time and again that batting second, the wicket starts to grip if there is no dew, and you cannot play for the weather. If you see, Rohit Sharma's captaincy was brilliant. He rotated the spinners. A word on Rohit Sharma's captaincy, Bharat. I will ask Gargi the same question. The way he utilized, he got Akshar first, then he got he got Varun, then he got Kuldeep, and he also got Jadeja a little late. And Jadeja too came in first couple of overs, only 3 runs. So at no point did Rohit Sharma allow the New Zealand batters to kind of settle down. And that was excellent to see. The 4 spinners beautifully utilized. 4 overs each for Hardik and Shami. So clearly, Rohit Sharma understood the pitch really well, Bharat Ramraj.
Yeah, he's an experienced captain, that is for sure. So understands how to go about the business, especially in these conditions. He got Varun in early because he bowls with a little more pace. So he's someone who's good with a new ball, I guess. And then when it was gripping a bit, he got Kuldeep Yadav and Ravindra Jadeja in. So he knew what to do with the conditions on display, conditions on view. So I think that is where came into the equation.
Yes, Deepak Hira also saying about Rohit Sharma's captaincy. Spot on with captaincy. That's a fact. Varun Chakravarty, you beauty. Your thoughts on Rohit Sharma's captaincy? Look, the way he maneuvered, it seems he's clearly a man in control.
Yeah.
He's a man in control. He knows the conditions. He knows what is going on. And this was one of those conventional ODIs, 250, and then not allowing the opposition to get a grip of the total at any point, except maybe the first few overs. A word on Rohit Sharma's captaincy?
I'd like to go back even further back when we talk about the ploy of having 4 spinners in the team. When Varun Chakravarty came in for Yashasvi Jaiswal, there was a lot to be said. Of course, this was in tandem with Gautam Gambhir. I'm sure the coach and the captain and the management as well were in consensus of this. This was a decision made by everyone, but still, I think this was a very gutsy call. When we think of Champions Trophy, when we were thinking of Dubai pitches, obviously there you always get some sort of sluggish wickets, but still keeping out a Yashasvi Jaiswal, getting in Varun Chakravarty at the last moment, that still was a gutsy call. And today as well, when you talk about rotation, I think Rohit Sharma has been very spot on since the last. When it comes to white ball, I have had no problems with or no complaints about the way that Rohit Sharma manages the team or with the technical decisions as well. Yes, we saw a few, let's say, bad calls in the past few months, but apart from that, I have had no complaints of Rohit Sharma in white ball cricket. There's really nothing to point and say that Rohit Sharma is a bad captain or Rohit Sharma does not make right tactical calls. And today was a perfect example of that.
It was a good captaincy.
249 is not a lot of runs on the scoreboard.
He was brilliant. I think that's a good question by Ravi Kishan. Bharat, take this. Do you play Kuldeep or do you sort of go to Washington Sundar? Because if you see more batting, and also if you see the Australian lineup, Travis Head left hand, quite a few left-handers there. Alex Carey left-hander. Do you go in with the Washington Sundar or are you happy with Kuldeep Yadav? Bharat Ramraj?
Yeah, that's a good question. India can go in with Washington Sundar looking at the matchups, but I guess the management won't take a risk for a semi-final because they have played the back Kuldeep to the hilt. Suddenly changing lineup, suddenly making changes, chopping and changing. Not very sure they will do, but that is a real possibility because wind is there. Looking at the Australian lineup, looking at the matchups, especially when you consider Travis Head in the opposition, they can definitely go for Washington Sundar.
Australia Okay. The other good question, Gargi, I think that can be asked. By the way, Australia today was practicing in the ICC Academy. We have a still which was sent to us by one of our reporters. Australia was practicing at the ICC Academy. Day after tomorrow, it is once again that blockbuster clash. India v Australia in an ICC tournament. And it's a 50-over contest. Once again, 19th November will be a reality. 19th November will come back. Can India avenge that? Can India make the 50-over thing count? Bharat Ramraj is smiling. But the question to ask, KL Rahul, multiple times you have seen KL Rahul fluff while he's keeping wickets. KL Rahul has made quite a few mistakes there. Even in terms of batting, he has not starred really. Yes, I know that it is a semi-final. You have a Rishabh Pant waiting in the wings. Would you want to see Rishabh Pant or would you still say no KL Rahul?
As much as I, sort of feel for KL Rahul for the way that his position has been constantly changed, he's not batting at his natural position, which is number 4 or 5, where he has the best numbers. Do you not think about the team first at this point? You're seeing that KL Rahul has made a few mistakes that has cost India. Today as well, you saw a dropped catch from KL Rahul. And if you're going to bat a KL Rahul at number 6, would you not rather have a Rishabh Pant who will bat very aggressively, will finish the innings for India if need be, and will keep the wickets as well? So, I think at this point it's team first. And if you're thinking of a team first perspective, yes, it will, hamper KL Rahul confidence to the core. But do you think of the team first and get Rishabh Pant in? I think that would be a good call.
Bharat Ramraj, KL Rahul, you persist or you go to Rishabh Pant?
Yeah, again the same thing. It's a semi-final. Suddenly, will India make a change? But I can understand where it is coming from, because in these conditions, when the ball is gripping, KL Rahul was always going to struggle as a wicketkeeper, because you need a genuine wicketkeeper in these conditions, and that is where I think the problem is for KL Rahul. And again, at number 6 or around that slot, maybe it's not the best, because it's someone who takes a little bit of time and then plays his shots. Only in the nets he tries to play with full of adventure, full of bravado. The KL Rahul that you see in the middle seems like a twin brother of the KL Rahul that you see in net practice, because he plays with so much adventure, so much bravado in the nets. But that is not something that you see in the middle, where it seems like it's a little too intense when it comes to his batting.
Gargi, I want to ask you this. I mean, I think Ravi Kishan's got it right. At 30 for 3, all of us thought KL would come in. Aksar came in. So if you're not sending in KL at 30 for 3, then why are you keeping him in the team? Then Rishabh Pant, because if he's, when Aksar sort of batted that thing, India was 150 or 6, that 100-run partnership, your crisis was done. That's when you send KL. That's when Rishabh Pant can come and play a much more aggressive innings. Then why KL? I mean, if you're not needing him at 10 for 3 or 20 for 3 or 30 for 3, so clearly you think Aksar is good enough for such a situation, then why not Rishabh Pant?
I mean, you clearly know that KL Rahul takes his time to get started. Yes, he can rotate the strike well, but KL Rahul still needs some time to come in. Like Ravi Kishan was saying, that 30 at 3 was the perfect opportunity for someone, a batter like KL Rahul, to come in and pace the innings well, and he would have done a really good job as well. But if this is the kind of situation when KL Rahul actually came in, is the type of innings that Rishabh Pant would excel in. And Rishabh Pant would come in, tonk a few, completely put the pressure back on the opposition. And that's the kind of batting you need at number 6. So I'm not understanding why KL Rahul is being persisted at number 6. First, it will hamper his confidence. He's batting out of position. So it's not really doing anyone any service at this point.
I agree that the KL Rahul position is a debate that will continue all day tomorrow. It is a debate that will continue all day tomorrow. Indranil Rai Chaudhary's question, Bharat, Shami seemed to have been struggling. Harshit Rana or Arshdeep, or you are happy with what you have seen of Mohammad Shami in the 4 overs? Bharat Ramraj.
Yeah, he has had niggles. Today also he hit on the shoulder. So if he's struggling, then perhaps go for someone like Harshit Rana, because he's played in these conditions. With great respect to Arshdeep Singh, he's not played in these conditions in this particular tournament. So Harshit Rana would be used to these conditions, and that is why I guess it is better to go with him instead of Arshdeep Singh. If he's facing any niggles, then definitely go with Harshit Rana, because you don't want an injured pacer to go with an injured pacer in a semi-final.
Those are the Indian fans, pretty happy. I mean, not much celebration, because they also know this is not the match that they need to celebrate much. Day after tomorrow, if these people come back to the stadium and it's Australia, you will see much, much more excited Indian crowd going back home in Dubai. Yes, it is a Tuesday. Yes, it is a weekday, work day, all of that. But an India-Australia semi-final is always an India-Australia semi-final. It will be a big game, I know for sure. Suman Avasthi, Gargi, take the question.
Suman Avasthi is saying, great victory by Indian team. I said we will win comprehensively if conditions remain same. Our spinners will come good, and they did. I think more than pitch, our spinners bowl really well.
Take it.
Well, when you talk about Varun Chakravarty, Kuldeep Yadav has been good as well. Ravindra Jadeja, we saw in the England series, also was on song. So when you talk about the spinners, their accuracy, their discipline in bowling, I don't think we had much to be concerned about at that point. And of course, I think all of us had been saying that Varun Chakravarty needs to be in this team. Even when, the Champions Trophy squad wasn't updated, Yashasvi Jaiswal was still part of the squad. We all said in Dubai, Varun Chakravarty needs to come in, especially based on the kind of form he was. And look what he did. 5 wickets, 5-wicket haul in his very first game in the Champions Trophy. So, conditions perfect, spinners bowling perfectly. I don't think you can get any better than this. Plus, with the top order firing, yes, they did not fire today, but still, lots of positives in the team.
Bharat, when she mentions batting, a word on Shreyas Iyer and a word on Hardik Pandya. I thought Hardik Pandya batted beautifully. kept it going, got India to 250. At one point, 180 or so for 6, could have been 220. Did not happen. He managed to take the team to 250, and that is why Hardik Pandya is such an important cog in the Indian wheel. Bharat Ramraj?
Yes, Sai is a very good player of spin. That is something one always takes it into consideration. But the another thing that he has done is he's become much better against a short ball. I think that is what is helping him. Yes, finally got out a short ball, but as he has become relatively better versus short ball, he's able to counter it much better. If you give even Hardik Pandya, obviously, he's someone who has improved with his pyrotechnics. If you just give me a minute, I will show something about Sai Sir. I have it in another phone. This one.
Yeah, go ahead.
What happened?
He wants to show us something. That's fine. As he gets ready to show us something, why don't you take this question from Mihiraria? 4 spinners for India once again in the next match, you reckon? Send us questions. We'll try and take as many in the next 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think so. I think this was the plan all along, wasn't it? And I think in the first press conference, I don't exactly remember, but someone had asked Rohit Sharma or Gautam Gambhir, will you play 4 spinners? And he said, Dekhte rehna. And clearly they were thinking about this for a long time, especially why Varun Chakravarty ever came into the team. But I don't mind 4 spinners in the team going forward.
Yes, Bharat.
One second.
Was your phone on the ground?
He won't.
So I just wanted to show how he has improved versus the short ball. Obviously, you will see it in a left-handed way, but you can see how he's going back and across to play the pull shot. This is one of the videos.
Don't show the video. Don't show the video.
It was a still. It was a still. Bharat, still दिखाना यार.
That's why.
हाँ मत play मत करना. Still ही दिखाओ. हाँ ठीक है.
Okay.
See how he's going back and across. This is not something that he used to do in the past. I think that is what I just wanted to show. That's all.
Good stuff, Bharat. This is the kind of technical stuff that you are known for. Good stuff, very good stuff. Chili Paneer. Will Arshdeep play over Kuldeep? Kuldeep is not looking threatening enough. Gargi, take that.
Kuldeep, I was just discussing, before we went live that Kuldeep went for a lot of runs today and did not pick up many wickets. But at the same time, he's not doing too bad either. Arshdeep could be I know I just said I wouldn't mind 4 spinners, but at the same time, Arshdeep gives you a lot of penetration in the death overs, and I think that's something India could well consider.
I think India should go in with 4 spinners. On this wicket, sluggish, ball holding on.
Yeah. Definitely.
Australia, the batting, we know the batting lineup is the threat, not so much the bowling. India should be able to handle Australia. Yes, Travis Head. Yes, Steve Smith. But I absolutely think India go in favourites. Bharat, Steve Smith and Travis Head, once again, important players in the Australian order. How do you kind of set it up in terms of Australian batting versus Indian bowling? How important will Steve Smith and Travis Head be?
Yeah, Travis Head obviously is India's nemesis. I think right at the end of the Test series, they were getting it tactically right against Travis Head in the recent Australia-India Test series. The same thing they should follow, which I've written obviously in that particular article, long article. Go around the wicket, attack the stumps, and try to attack the stumps and give him no room. In that sense, Harshdeep Singh could be a choice, because if you look at Travis Head, he has a trouble against the left arm angle that comes into the left-handed batsman. But only for Travis Head will you pick Harshdeep Singh. That's the only question mark there. But even with Steve Smith, it's not been at his absolute best in the recent past in ODI cricket. But then you have to also consider Glenn Maxwell coming down the order. Josh Inglis, I think, is a very good ODI batter. He's a good player of spin. Josh Inglis and Glenn Maxwell, both of them can play spin reasonably well. So let us not undermine those 2 batters either, because in these conditions, I think they will depend on those 2, Glenn Maxwell and Josh Inglis, coming down the order against spin bowling.
I agree, but you would want Australia, these conditions, that bowling attack, India should now fancy themselves. Come on. India should start to believe that with these 4 spinners, you've got the team combination right. This is an opportunity to go past Australia and redeem the 2019 50 overs contest.
I think if in the semi-finals, now that India will face Australia, I think put them to bat first.
And chase.
Because
ball will hold up.
Yes, it will. It's quite difficult. I think just lose the toss at this point.
Make
Make
it
it
14.
14 consecutive toss losses, because as Bharat was saying this morning as well, it's a very difficult it's a very difficult decision to take. And I was trying to say that maybe put them in to bat first because they have a very experienced batting lineup, but also in the second innings it gets harder to bowl, and with the kind of penetration that we've seen from this Indian spinners, maybe it's better if Australia chases. But at the same time, I think there's more than enough reason to be very confident against a depleted Australian side, and India has what it takes to win not just this semi-final but also the Champions Trophy.
So Michael Clark's prediction is not coming true. I will tell him tomorrow that it's not an India-Australia final, it's an India-Australia semi-final. And Michael predicts an Indian win there. I mean, he said India will beat Australia. He said in the final, but it's now in the semi-final. So we've got to wait and see what happens there. But Bharat Ramraj, knockout match once again, Australia. How much of it this is mental?
Yeah, it is mental, obviously, knockout match, but still, on paper, India are very much favorites in this particular game. Australia don't have that pace attack. Here in these conditions, you also need a good pace attack because you can vary your pace, ball cutters, or one ball change-ups, slow short deliveries, and all these stuffs. And Australia currently don't have that experience in their pace attack. So yes, it's a mental thing, and Australia have won a lot of tournaments, ICC tournaments. But India should come out on top in this particular game. If you look at that particular pace attack, and even outside Sampa, they don't have the spinners.
Bharat, any idea about Rohit Juglan's mobile phone? Somebody is asking, Rohit ka mobile phone mila, mujhe to kuch pata nahi hai. Has he lost his phone? Any idea?
I was in other stand, so.
Okay. Okay, no problem. No problem. We'll find out from Rohit Juglan what happened to his mobile phone. I've got absolutely no idea, Nikhil Kumar, what happened to his mobile phone, if he's lost it or got it, or if there's anything wrong with it. I have absolutely zero.
In that hospitality box, I was in that A4 stand.
Got it. No problem. We'll figure it out. Last 10 odd minutes. If you want to send more questions, do that, because we will obviously have a massive show tomorrow building up with all our 4 correspondents from Dubai to the India. His phone got stolen, misplaced. Wow. When? How? Rohit, I mean, pata kar lunga. Nikhil, pata kar lunga. Don't worry. We'll help him in whatever way we can from here.
Yep.
And we'll sort that out. No big deal. We'll take care of that. I want to face Australia in the final, but not in the semi-final. It's a sad moment for me, Ravi Shankar Kumar.
You want to face them?
As in, he wants India to. Bolo.
No, I said the same thing. I wanted an India-Australia final because I wanted the November 19 revenge. Unfortunately, we're not.
तो semi-final में तुमको नहीं मिलेगा वो revenge.
अरे but वो बात अलग हो जाएगी ना. Final में तो it will be like a neck to neck thing. कि हमने
फिर semi-final में दोबारा हरा दिया तो?
मतलब?
Semi-final में ऑस्ट्रेलिया दोबारा तुम्हें हरा दिया तो?
Please don't say such things.
Okay. If India bats first, what? India bats first or fourth? How should they approach, considering their top order didn't score today? I don't think the top order is any problem whatsoever. I mean, no problem whatsoever, the top order. And Bharat, any word on that? You want to comment on the top order, that one of Rohit, Virat, Shubman?
See, the thing is, New Zealand's pace attack, the current pace attack, I'm not thinking about Australia's main pace attack. The current pace attack of Australia's lineup and the current pace attack of New Zealand's lineup is much better. So they had a top quality pace attack, and when you have Matt Henry, Will Rourke, and someone like Kyle Jamieson, then and any team can struggle. So it's not a huge thing. Matt Henry is, as I always call him, as the wobble seam king. He's definitely the wobble seam king. And when you have fielders like Glenn Phillips, if a wicket or two goes, then it is absolutely fine. Because against quality bowling, even the best of batters can struggle.
I think South Africa, New Zealand semi-final will also be an absolute cracker. I mean, talk about that. I mean, look at this New Zealand side, which is an excellent side in Pakistan conditions, which should favor batting, and you don't want a rain-curtailed match. No. And on the other hand, South Africa, with that bowling attack of Rabada and Jansen and Lungi, Ngidi and others, and South Africa, New Zealand will once again be a cracker. Your thoughts?
No, obviously it will be two of the best sides. in the Champions Trophy, and it's always fun to watch these teams, and especially with the way that New Zealand has been on the field. I think that's been the best part of, for me, as at least when we talk about New Zealand, the way that they're fielding, taking those catches, saving runs. I mean,
it's the best fielding side in the tournament by a mile.
Absolutely.
That Glenn Phillips, every match he decides to take one of those stunners, but not simply Glenn Phillips. Even Williamson, that one-handed catch of Akshar Patel. The way they were throwing their bodies around. But this is the question of the day. Ravi Kishan, why Gill failed today? Answer karo, why Gill failed today? He failed.
इतने दिनों से रन बना रहा है वो. Law of averages. कुछ नहीं हुआ, Ravi. Tension मत लो.
Tension मत लो. Relax करो. Last 5 minutes on the show, boss. Because Bharat Ramraj has to go home and write. Everyone talking about what? Indian advantage. Nobody talking about only one day break before semis. Nothing happens. This was not one of those exhausting matches that India can't recover. And they've got enough time. They've done this in the past, one day gap. Hundreds of matches have been played in the past with a day's gap. No big deal.
They're high performance athletes. They have
no big deal. And Australia has had to travel. Australia has had to travel. India has been in Dubai. Come on, let's not crib about these little things whatsoever. But Bharat Ramraj, New Zealand versus South Africa, set that up for me.
Yeah, I think on paper, maybe I feel New Zealand are slight favorites because I think they're a little more professional unit. They plan well, they execute well. Even the slog overs today, they were executing well. And someone like Matt Henry, I think, is in the form of his life. Here as well, I think you can see his wobble ball here. This is his wobble ball. I'm not sure whether you can see this ball.
Yeah. Nothing is visible.
The ball. It's coming wobbly. It's coming wobbly. This ball.
Tweet kar dena baad mein.
Yeah, it's coming wobbly. Yeah, he is a master of the wobble. They have a good seam attack. They have good spinners. I feel New Zealand are slight favorites of the two teams. But again, Bauma is a good captain, and they have enough firepower like Heinrich Klaassen in their ranks, and others. Even Ryan Rickelton, the youngster, I think he's going to be a future star. So South Africa also have enough firepower, but I still feel New Zealand might be slight favorites there.
Okay, so Indradil Roy Chaudhary, India versus New Zealand final, South Africa, India final mounting, Stalin Lobo, we will hammer Australia, Tanmay, Partho Datta, loads of questions coming. Let me put my two friends on the spot. I will start with you, Gargi Raut. India versus who? Or is it New Zealand versus Australia? Is that happening? Or South Africa? Who is your final? Who are the two finalists? Come on, tell me.
I have a feeling it's going to be India, South Africa.
India, South Africa final.
Yep.
Okay. India, South Africa final. Repeat of the T20 World Cup final. Reckons Gargi Raut, 29th of June, when India won that incredible match in the Caribbean, in Barbados, and Rohit Sharma had that ICC trophy. Are we seeing another one? Are we seeing another one on the 9th of March? Bharat Ramraj, what is your take? Set it up. Two semi-finals, back-to-back, 4th and 5th. Who are your two finalists?
Yeah, as I noted, logically, I feel New Zealand are slight favorites for South Africa, and India will take down Australia. But again, if South Africa go on to reach the finals, good enough, maybe somewhere they will win another tournament, another ICC event somewhere. But I feel logically it could be India versus New Zealand.
Okay, so Gargi Raut says India versus South Africa. Bharat Ramraj says India versus New Zealand. Lot of combinations, permutations coming here in our comment section. We will come back tomorrow with two mega shows, one at 12, one at 5. And of course, there'll be a pre-match press conference where all our colleagues will be there. So expect a special show from Dubai at 8 p.m. building up to that mega semi-final, India versus Australia, once again at the Champions Trophy. This match gives us that special zing. The match of the tournament. The moment it's Australia, it gives you that special zing, ladies and gentlemen. Plenty more questions. Ravi Shankar Kumar, South Africa, India. Partho Datta, India versus New Zealand again in the final. Here to just say KL Rahul is a choker. Come on, yeah.
No.
Forget about all this nonsense now. Is it an India, Australia, India, New Zealand, or is it two other teams? I'll give you 40 more seconds for question. Our spinners will be the trump card, says Asim Hans. Krishnendu Das, why KL Rahul is in the team? Lot of questions against KL Rahul, it seems. Ravi Shankar Kumar, sorry if my comment seems a bit rude or arrogant, but Gargi ma'am's opinion changes faster than a cheetah sprint.
I just present both sides of the stories.
Your opinion changes, he says.
No, not opinion. Opinion about what? Tell me, then I'll clarify.
Okay, Shombit, quick answer if you want Gargi's clarification, because I've got to close this show.
Yes.
Boryada and team should be in Dubai to cover the match. Not at all. We will leave our 4 colleagues. There are already 4 of our colleagues there, and they've won you 3 games. So in terms of superstition also, Bharat Ramraj is my lucky charm. He was there at the Asia Cup. India won the Asia Cup. So Bharat Ramraj is my lucky charm. Look at his smile. Rohit Juglan, Bharat Ramraj, Shomik Chakravarty and Vaibhav Tripathi are doing a fine job. Absolutely no reason to change. Shombit, you can ask your question at 12 noon tomorrow. I'll make sure Gargi answers that. For the moment, it is 10:11 India time. Bharat Ramraj has to file his copy. You guys have a good night. India 3 in a row. It is India versus Australia once again in an ICC trophy. Thanks for watching.